Hello everyone, welcome to the part 4 of Build Custom ROM series. In this series, you'll be learning about GitHub. Before I start off with anything, I want to congratulate you for being able to catch up to the part 4 because you are now about to really brainstorm. Also, I congratulate you again for being able to catch up to this part. Well done. So let's start off quickly by opening to github.com. So this is how GitHub looks like from scratch. This is how it looks like if you are signed out. So the reason why I'm basically making this because when I was a beginner, I find GitHub a little bit hard to learn. It was challenging for me to understand all fundamentals of GitHub. And then this is a course that will help you to learn GitHub shortest possible time. It's not going to take you to any details, just introduce you to the interface and introduce you to an Git command in the shortest possible time. So to do that, let me just sign in quickly. If you don't have an account, just go and then create an account from here. So I'll be signing in and I will pause the video. Now I have signed in successfully and this is how GitHub looks like from the front. This is the dashboard of GitHub. So as you can see here, wherever you are, they always list it here. If you are in a dashboard, you're an organization or anything like that, it's all here. So here in the dashboard, the home directory of the dashboard, these are what I have here. So you can see these are some forked repositories. In case you don't understand forked, we'll be looking into that very soon. So these are some repos that we have worked on, not just me, but a friend, Charcoal. So this is basically what the dashboard or the home looks like. It can get really confusing at a certain point, but this here explains it. So you can see Chaku has forked 3 repositories and these are the repo that he forked. So as you can see here, it's 3, this is 2, and this is the last one. So he has made some changes and then all the changes here are also here in the dashboard. So let's go to another GitHub repo where we could understand things. But wait, before we leave this page, if you check here, it says what? Top repos. Also, I say it repo, the full meaning is repository. So now that you have this here, you can see that this is my username, GitHub username, and then this is these are the repositories path. This is the path to repository. So this one is the over-the-air update, OTA update. So you can see when I rest the mouse on it, it shows over-the-air update at the top here. And then this, when you are creating a GitHub repo, it asks you for comments. So this is a comment that I have under it and it shows it as a public so everyone in the world can access it. It's just an easy fundamental to understand, so it's good to go. So now that you have seen how dashboard will look like in GitHub, let's explain some of these icons. So this icon is issue icon. If someone finds issue within our forked repo, then the person goes to this place and then he can report the issue and then we can be able to go. So we have a close and open here, which is what if someone in case place a issue here, if some of these issues have been solved, we can close it, something like that. So here it says no result match your search because we have nobody has created issue yet. So also nobody have had an issue. That's another way to say it. So let's check this place, which is talking about pull request. So GitHub pull request is basically when you try to pull a repo. You know, when you are trying to pull a GitHub repo, it's just like taking a whole changes of a repo from a branch and then you are implementing it in your branch. It's just like Git cherry pick, but a little bit more of pulling a whole branch, something like that. So you understand more of this Git pull later in my new videos that I'll be making. But here I just want to introduce you to the interface, so let's keep everything easier to ourselves. So the video is kind of getting longer now. Let me just go to the Lineage OS GitHub and let me show you something quick. You see, when you open to GitHub to somebody's repo, for example, here we are in the Lineage OS and then we are inside Android device Samsung and then the SM7125 common tree. So here we are in the common tree of Lineage OS, and Lineage OS are the people who has been who committed these changes. So you can see that when this repo here has been committed yesterday, so you can see they have made the changes to it yesterday. So whenever they make change to it, you see it here. The last change they made is yesterday, and then this is the ID to the changes they made. So if you want to see what they did, so you can just click on this one and it will take you to the changes they made. So here that I click on the changes, and then you can see that it says remove software OMS codec reference. So this is the changes they made. This is the title of the changes that they made. You understand? So if you check here, it says these are no longer available. These it says are no longer available in Android QPR, Android 14 QPR 3, and these are what they did. Whenever you come to a GitHub repo, you see it says common.mk. So let's come back here in the common.mk here. Let's look for common.mk. This is common.mk. In common.mk, whenever I see this minus, they have removed all these ones and then they added this. So the plus here says they added this and removed all of this. So when you scroll a bit, there's also one thing they have added here, which is the telephony, and then they have also removed all of this too. So the changes are made in the configs media also. So in common.mk, not just in common.mk, when you come to this part and you go to config media, so this is the media, config media, and then they have made changes to, let me see, the media codecs.xml, which is what they have a reference here that remove software OMX. So when we come back here, you can just click on the repo title and it's going to bring you back to the original page of the repo. And then here, this is just some stuff here. You can see we have watch here, and then we have fork. So the fork here, if you click on the fork, it's going to add this repo onto your GitHub. So if you make any changes to it, it will not affect this one here. So if you commit any changes to your fork repo, it will not affect this one here. So example, when we come back to my GitHub repository, let's go to this device.mk. You see, we have fork. Let me come back to my repo. So let me go to organization. I have made the changes to the organization here. So let me now go to the device tree. So you can see that inside the device tree here, I added overlay evolution packages apps settings rest. If you check here, we don't have that here. Actually, this is the device tree. So let me just, this is the common tree. Let me go into the Lineage OS device tree and let me show you something quick. I can just click on the Lineage OS to go to browse all Lineage OS repositories. So let me type A52Q to look for my device tree. So this is my device tree, and you can see inside the device tree, there's overlay framework base, but there is no overlay evolution packages app settings because I forked it. So when I click on the fork here, it brought it fork the repo, which means it brought this repo into my GitHub. So if I make any changes to it, it will not affect this one. So people can just come and then clone this and then use the changes I made here without needing to do it from scratch. So that is the meaning of fork. Also, you can style it to add it as a favorite, something like that. So that's simply how the GitHub interface is. It's not anything confusing. But let me show you one more thing, then we'll move on to the command line interface. Let's come to the commit. You can see if you click on the commit, it brings you to this page where you see all the commits. You understand? You see every commit that has been added to this page. The commits are actually changes that have been made, and each changes have an ID. So also, before we begin going through the changes, let me show you something here. This is called branch. So you can see here the branch is have this kind of straight and then kept lines here, and the branch is basically different tags, or let me say different repos. So when we come to the branch lineage 19.1, which is 100, I think this is 113 and this is also 113. This might be 112 and this is 113 and this is 114. So lineage 90, 112, this is 113. So let's go to the 113 repo, and then the 113 repo, these are all the commits that have been made. So the branches are kind of different repos, but on the same lineage. You understand? So you need to understand branches. They are important. So it's good you get the fundamental of the branch here. So the default branch is basically the latest branch, which you can see here is lineage 21. So in the lineage 21 branch, these are all the commits that have been made to it. And also you can see the date of the commit here. And then you can see the title of the commit. So that's basically what you can get from the GitHub interface. It doesn't look pretty much confusing. It's easy and very user-friendly to understand. So now that you have a fundamental knowledge of how the GitHub interface looks like, let's come to how to run certain Git commands. So here I was running a certain Git command to for this video. So I created this directory called git basic. So to do this, you just have to do mkdir git basics. This is just for practice, and with this practical knowledge you can be able to do some cool stuff. So let's just go and do some cool stuff. So now let's come to let's cd into the git repo. I want to keep everything neat, that's why I created a git repo. So here I want to git clone. Clone actually is you are kind of downloading the repo. So let's go to my repo here. So here I want to clone the lineage os device tree, and I want to fork I want to make this, I want to cherry pick a commit. So I'll cherry pick a commit into my GitHub, and I'll commit it so that you see how this is done. So to do this, you just have to copy the code here. If you want to clone it, you have to copy the code, and if you come to this place, you click on the code and then you copy the https link. You can copy for ssh and then get a command line interface too. So now if you copy, just paste it, and also please don't forget the branch. You understand? So to do the branch, you have to do -b to specify the branch. Then the branch that we saw earlier is the branch lineage branch 21, as you can see from this side. So you just can type lineage 21 to specify that you want to pull from this branch. You don't want to pull from the older branches. But you can see that the default branch is lineage 21, so it's actually not essential if you include a branch. But this is how to include a branch. You just have to type lineage and then 21, as you can see from the GitHub website. So now let's clear the branch, because the default branch is already the latest branch, so no need to worry. Also, I want to clone this and put it inside a device into a folder called A52Q. So I'll type the folder in front of it, A52Q, and let me hit on enter. Now that I've done that, it has been able to clone this successfully, or let me say download it successfully. So let's do ls, and you can see we have A52Q, and when we cd inside the A52Q, you see that we have the lineage branch here. It's specifying the lineage branch here. So the clone actually doesn't fully download, but it also gives us access into the branch online. You understand? So when we try to commit, it will be able to push a commit into it. but I don't want to push any commit into lineage's original repo. I want to push a commit to my repo. So let me come to my side, the one I forked from lineage side, and let me copy the code here, and let me go back to this side. Let me cd, and now let me just remove the lineage one that I just did, so A52Q, and let me git clone my own. It's actually not owned by me, okay? It's owned by Lineage OS. There's a guy named uh, Simon who has done all of this. I forked it, so that's why I'm actually saying it my own to make the video more understandable. So now that we have done, we have cloned it, you can see that I have made a mistake. I didn't type the A52Q, but it has placed it inside the title here. There's some device A52Q like this, so it's not also bad. It's good to go. So now let's go into the new one that we have cloned, the device A52Q. Now we are inside it. Let's do ls, and you can see these are all the stuff that are inside, and the branch that we are on is UDC branch. So when you fork a repo, the original branch, the default branch is always UDC. So you can also make it, you can also give a custom branch, but the UDC is good to go. Now I want to make some changes, and which are what are the changes I want to make? I want to copy a change from another repo. You understand? I want to copy a change from another repo. One thing you should know about fork is that when they make a new commit to this one, the commit will reflect here. You understand? It says one commit ahead, so you can see a commit is ahead, so you can just update that commit onto the original lineage from here. So let's come to another page where I want to clone a commit. So I want to commit a change onto this part, or let me say I want to bring in a change. So let me just go to the repo where I want to take the change from here very quick. This is my friend's GitHub repo, and yesterday he made a change. So let's click on this and let's go into the change he made yesterday. So when we clicked on the commit ID, which is this one here, when you click on the commit ID, it brought us here where I have explained what this place is already. So the change were made to lineage, AOSP A52Q.mk. So let's see if we have AOSP A52Q.mk inside our newly cloned repo. So we can see we cloned and we have lineage instead of AOSP. So he renamed the lineage to AOSP, which is a commit he has done already. But we are not looking at that commit now. We are looking at the commit he did here. You can see it says boot animation, and the boot animation here says it measures the screen height and width, but he corrected it by putting the target boot animations resolution, and then it also added face ID support to his device tree so that he'll get a face ID when he builds his custom ROM. So let's say I want to make these changes. I want to add these changes into my repo. You see, I want to add these changes into my lineage a52q.mk so that I'll be able to have the same changes. You understand? How would I do this? Look, I can just, copy this. I can just do like this. Copy it like this, and then go into the lineage a52q, and then I can just like this. So, and then I can paste it anywhere like that, and then I'm good to go. But let me show you the right way to do it. It's better to fetch and then git cherry pick it. So let me show you. Before you can be able to take changes from this side and implement it inside your repo, you see, the reason why I'm kind of showing you this is because there can be a repo, there can be a commit. The commit is going to be very long, like about 1,000 line of code, I guess. Very long. And you can't just like copy this one by one like that. You understand? There can be also a commit from different branches. So with one commit, ID, you can just cherry pick all of this without needing to do all this hard work. Thanks to GitHub for taking this decision from long ago. So to be able to implement the changes from here into our side, what we have to do is to fetch his repo. So let's copy the repo URL and then let's come to our terminal and let's do git fetch. You have to make sure you are inside the directory that you want to make the changes to. I want to make the changes to this newly cloned directory, newly cloned repo. So let's git fetch. So you just have to type git fetch, and if you type the git fetch followed by the URL that you copied, which is the GitHub URL from my friend Coco. So let me just hit on enter here, and then it has been fetched successfully. So now that it has been fetched, we can be able to pull anything we want from him. So let's click on the commit that he made yesterday, and the commit he made is this one, and then I want to put the same commit that he made to the AOSP device.mk into our site. So you just have to copy the commit ID from here. So if you copy the commit ID, and then you can just come back to the repo. So when you come back here, you can do git cherry pick. So what git cherry pick means is that it's actually just picking the commit that he made. You understand? Other than git pull will kind of pull everything from his side. All the commit, like all the commits. Let me come back like this. I have not tried git pull before, but per what I have learned and read, this is what git pull can do. So like all the commits like this, git pull will pull it, something like that. Also, I'll be updating our playlist. I'll be making more videos on GitHub explaining all the mistakes I may have done or anything like that. So let's just go back to this page and then let's cherry pick our new commit. So let's paste what we have copied from earlier. So we copied the commit ID. So now that we have copied it, let's paste it and let's hit on enter. And now let's see what happened here. It says what? Auto merging. So it have identified that the AOSP branch that we saw from this side, the lineage AOSP, it has identified that it is lineage AOSP. It was AOSP device.mk. Now it is lineage a52q.mk. It has auto identified it, and then he has made two changes, and here it says one file changed and then two insertions and two deletions. So the plus is insertion and the minus is deletions, and which is what I have explained in the beginning of the video, so you better have to understand this side. So now let's see if that change is really made. So let's come to our repo and then let's open lineage a52q.mk and let's see if we have anything like boot animation or anything like that. So here we have it. It says boot animations true and the face ID unlocked true. We were not having this earlier, but now we have it from the cherry pick that we just did. So now you have done the cherry pick, you can just go ahead and begin building your ROM after making the cherry pick. But let's say you want to commit this, you want to commit and then you want it to reflect to your repo too. You want it to reflect to our repo here. What you have to do here is to do git add. You have to add it first. So after you add it, then you can be able to what? You can be able to commit it. You understand? But if in case you forget to add, it will return an error. So one thing you can do is to do git status. If you do the git status, it will show you the commits that you need to add and the commits that you don't need to that are not added. You understand? So we have added all commits, so you cannot see, it's not showing anything here. So now that you know that we have been able to add it, now we want to commit it. You understand? So you can just do git commit. You have to do dash amend and then the author. So the author here has to be his name. So just put an equal to sign and then go and copy from his side the author. So let's come to Cocoa Tree and let's come to this side of the commit. This is a commit that we made. So you have to copy from his side. So like his name, for example, you copy his name as the author, and then if you come to this place, you need to add it in a quote like this. Then you just need to paste his name. Sorry. So actually, I'm not going to commit, but I'm showing you to understand what basically this is. So like this, and then you give this to this one like this, bracket open, sorry, you give this greater than and less than 10, and then you put in his email address here, you understand? So something like that. So if you do that, then you hit on enter, and then the commit is going to happen. But I don't want to do that because it's not a huge change. But let me show you something. When you come back to this place, let's go to the lineage tree. And then when we go to the lineage tree, let's browse the commits. Let me go back one. Let's browse the commits. Actually, sometimes the person's shows off his name as an author and then the email from there, and then you can copy his name and then the email if you have cherry picked something from his side. So that's what I'm trying to show you. Let me just go into some other repos here. Let me check project matrix. So let me see if I'll see anything like that from here. It's actually a little bit hard to find, but you could see the person's name, then the person's email address, like that, and then you see what basically the person being, if the person is the author for it. I have a place to check. Let me check that quickly. I'll pause the video. I have searched and couldn't find any of them, but that is how you can commit. You just have to do the author, put the person's name. If it's you that is doing this new commit, you just have to do the author, put your username and put your email, just like how I showed you earlier. Then you are good to go. So that is basically how you can do the commit and do git cherry pick. But let me show you something here. Let's say you see I have let's go back to our browser very quick, and then thank you. So example, if in case you didn't git fetch, if you didn't git fetch and then you are trying to commit, it's not going to work. Let me show you what it will look like. So let me just go back into the last week commit from these people here. So let me go to the commit and copy the commit ID. Then let me go back to my no machine, and then let's say we want to cherry pick the commit that Simon did to the lineage tree. So let's do cherry pick. You see, we didn't fetch, right? So let's do the cherry pick. Then let's paste the command, and then it actually worked. The reason is because we are using lineage tree, you understand? So we are using lineage tree, and then we are inside the lineage tree, and then we fetch the new, we actually committed a new chain that has been made to it. But let's do a certain let's use a certain something different. Let's use something different that is not in our, that's not in our, okay, so it's actually not in our commit history. So something we didn't fetch. So let's get back to this side. As let me go back to this place and grab a certain repo that is on a different branch, a different side. So let me go to Charcoal's, my friend Charcoal's repo. For example, he made changes to his OnePlus device tree. So let's say, example, I want to take this change from OnePlus device tree, for example. This is the commit ID. So let me click on the commit ID, and then let me try and copy the commit ID. And then let me go back to my terminal, and then let me remove this ID from there, and let me paste that ID, and let me hit on enter. Sorry, I did that too quick. Okay, so you can see it says what, fatal bad revision, and then it gave the commit that we are trying to pick. So if you didn't git fetch before you try to git cherry pick, this is the error you are going to have. So kindly remember to git fetch. So you just have to fetch, you just have to come back here. So example, I want to do that commit that we saw earlier. You just have to come back here, then copy this one, go back to your lineage tree, and then do the git fetch. And if you do the git fetch, and then if you do the git fetch, you can then do git cherry pick, and it's going to pick these changes for you. Sometimes if you do cherry pick, you get some errors, conflict